that I am here, not so much because of what I have done, but because of what I might represent for all young Australians, and perhaps especially young Australians from different cultural backgrounds. I was only 4 when my family arrived in Australia as refugees from Vietnam, but I can still remember. I remember sensing the fear and the enormity of the occasion when we were crouching low in the water. It was dark and misty, and there was a silence that you could hear everything around you. Although there were many children on the boat, we were all so quiet because we could understand and really, truly understand the importance of this step for everyone on the boat. It was very crowded. 161 people were packed onto this very, very small boat. My mum says it's 15 metres by 4 metres.
The night of October 1981 is one of the nights that in my life I will never forget. I escaped with my mom, with my 2 young daughters, only 3 and 4. Myself was very young.
You really do know what it means to be fearful for your life. And I think even though I was very young, I could understand some of the fear that was there, lurking in all the minds of everyone, especially in my family.
I do think of my children's future. That's why I escape. We accept that we might be dead. You might get shot, raped by the pirate. You might be run out of water. Your boat would never reach shore as well. So anything can be happen. We do plan that we will take poison if we were caught back or if we raped by the pirate. Because anyway, you will die. You die anyway. So it's the matter that you choose what way that you might be die. So it's come easier for you. And especially you can't be there with the painful and suffering when you see the loved one is dying. So it's best that we die together.
I remember the first thought when we were going to touch Malaysia. I asked Mum, are we going to get any clothes, Mum? Because the whole journey at sea, my clothes had been flown off. It had just flown away. And so my younger sister and I had no clothes to wear at all. The moment that the announcement was made in the refugee camp in Malaysia that we were going to Australia, the 8 hours that it took to fly from Malaysia to Australia, we didn't just travel a distance that could be measured in kilometres. We travelled a distance that could also be measured in terms of dignity, care, compassion, respect and justice. And Australia offered us the opportunity to pursue all of our dreams.
I just feel so great because I know that I and my 2 daughters, we have a new life. And we have a new land that accepted us, that from now on we belong to that land and we will make that land our home.
I was only 4 when my family arrived in Australia as refugees from Vietnam. But I can still remember that we were welcomed in 2 ways. And these 2 types of welcomes have stayed with me and have been reinforced over the years. The first was what you might call an official welcome or an institutional welcome. There was somewhere for us to stay. There was food and clothing. We were introduced into our new country. We were safe. This welcome said, "There is a place for you here. You matter." The other welcome was the welcome given to us by ordinary Australians. These people went out of their way to welcome us, sometimes with gifts and sometimes with their smiles, their interest and their well wishes. We started with nothing really. None of us spoke any English. I guess for my whole family, the issue of adjusting and being able to communicate was very, very important. And there was always a fear in the family of whether or not we would be tolerated and then accepted. My family was very, very poor. My mum was working initially in a farm and then at the Holden factory in Port Melbourne. She worked very long hours. She did a lot of overtime to provide us with a chance to go to school. The first most significant point in my life would have to be primary school. Although it was a time of fear, being young and thinking, wow, I'm going to a new school, that was really scary for me. It's something that I remember very vividly.
I always worry for Min and Tan when they are at school for their security. Will they be facing with discrimination? That's always is a worry.
The best thing about St Monica's was the fact that I had a place and I felt that I was a part of the school community. My friends were wonderful because they all accepted me.
So maybe 3 or 4 little pictures in there, in colour.
I was extremely lucky, not having to have teachers who discriminated against me, teachers that actually recognised my potential and encouraged me. Marcella was a very special teacher. She, for me, symbolised this acceptance for who you are and not for the way you look or your appearance or anything else about you. Oh my goodness, the Zoom photos!
We were all conscious of the experiences that many of the students had gone through. In some cases, quite horrendous experiences. So, you know, that was constantly in the back of our minds to make them feel safe and secure.
Those are crucial years of growing up, and friendship at that stage in your life is of utmost importance. When I was 11, I experienced a school that was not accepting. It was a school that did not accept me for many of my differences. I was not as rich as most of the students there. I came from Vietnam, so I looked different. Some of the children there said, "You're Vietnamese, you Vietnamese girl, ching chong, go home." All those things made me feel that, and I guess I questioned my identity in a sense because I thought of myself as Australian, yet people kept calling me Vietnamese ching chong.
She was very depressed and become skinnier and skinnier. I didn't realize until half a year passed.
The sense that you were not accepted affects a young person in very, very deep ways. I guess I looked forward to classroom time, to classes. I could never face up to recess or lunchtime. Each day at recess and lunchtime, I would run, literally run to the library.
We hugging each other and we both cries because I see myself so silly. Why I put my girl into such a suffering situation and believe that it is I do the best for her. Actually, I didn't.
Moving to my new school in year 9, the stark contrast between what I had come from and what I had come to, it's just not possible at all to exaggerate the differences. There was always a fear there. Now, it was not going to easily be changed because it was so strong. That sense of rejection had been so strong. But coming to my new school, this openness about it, this warm acceptance, healed a lot of the wounds that were opened by my old school.
I remember her as a very conscientious, a very concerned and a very sensitive person, and was concerned about the effects that things in society had on people's lives.
It was the school that really shaped my values and my commitments in life to really want to do something to make it a difference.
You should be very, very proud of yourself, Tan.
It's been wonderful.
There was a community organisation that was set up dealing with just normal social welfare services that needed someone who was bilingual to volunteer just to do simple tasks like filling in forms. I thought, yeah, why not? I'll do it. From that simple step, it grew into a bigger one. And I started to become very enthusiastic about doing something.
Hello, anh Sơn. Anh đang làm gì vậy?
Anh đang copy.
I was voted in as treasurer of the organisation and subsequently as president the following year and chairperson.
Ai? Ông Fred này, anh với chị Cúc.
Với một người nữa.
I was 19 at the time. I experienced some challenges but were able to implement many new initiatives such as bilingual English classes at night time, vocational courses that help people to get new skills that would enable them to find jobs in the Australian job market.
Tan has taken on a lot of community work, and I feel great about it because that gives her experience and gives her strength as well. And helping people is one goal that one should try to achieve in a lifetime, because you are happy when you see other people happy. I became involved with local politics because I love Footscray so much. It became my home.
Hi, Brenda.
I become the mayor when I am 36. And because it became my home, I would like to involve, I would like to participate, and I would like to do something.
I feel very passionately about my community and I would not have it any other way. I mean, often Footscray is portrayed as being drug-infested, unemployment, it's a low social economic structure. I mean, we're portrayed as being at the bottom of the society, yet we have a harmonious society of acceptance, understanding. It's something that we are all very proud of.
Tan would like to become QC, so she pursued her legal profession in the law course. She wants to be very successful in her legal career. I hope that one day her dream come true.
Welcome Tan Le, and Tan Le is the Young Australian of the Year, and she took that title this year, so welcome to you, Tan.
The Western Bulldogs chose Tan Le as their #1 ticket holder this year because we saw that Tan really represented, in essence, what the club represents, and that is a sense of community, a sense of growth and a sense of the future.
Talking about extraordinary and outstanding young Australian. In fact, to be precise, the Young Australian of the Year. Would you please welcome Tan Le? Now, welcome. I've just come back from the Northern Territory, and you've been in the Northern Territory.
Yes, I have. It was a wonderful experience, the Northern Territory.
Thanks, Gay. Thank you very much.
The opportunity that I had to meet so many people was very, very, very special. I was so lucky that I did get a sense of the community and their perceptions. They do have a very strong sense of belonging. People work together. Young people in the community often become very involved with the community, and I think it's something that we in the city tend to forget about. We are all Australians. We can all be proud of it and work towards a country that accepts everyone, not for the way they look, not because they're wealthy or they're successful or they have influence or money, but because of the person that they are. And when we have that as a fundamental benchmark, I think Australia can be a much better place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would never thought that my daughter, Tan, could have won the award because the award is so great. We are too small to get such honor.
The day of the announcement of the awards, my whole family flew up to Canberra. Even though it was expensive, my grandmother, mum, younger sister and myself, we would all go together.
When people come as refugees or as immigrants to Australia, theirs is not just a physical immigration. It is also an immigration of hopes and aspirations. It is an immigration of dedication and hard work. It is an immigration of the heart. It is so important that the fullness of this immigration be welcomed. I therefore accept this award as a young Australian on behalf of all young Australians, on behalf of all who have been welcomed, and on behalf of all who continue to welcome. Thank you, ladies.